I'm gonna take a couple more. How you guys looking pretty sharp? It wasn't too hard, was it?
Very good.
All right, welcome back to the Sideline Report. Barry Barnes and Redskins legend Larry Brown are here. And recently, Darrell Green shared some interesting thoughts with me. So let's check it out.
They got good schemes. They got good concepts. They don't have the training look like the ability to execute in performance. They don't look like they have the ability to execute the performing part of it when the ball is snapped. The play against the Giants, decent call. They had a trail technique, decent call. How do you execute this? How do you execute the out, the 7 route, or the straight 9 route, a stop outside and a 9 up the middle? What do I do? I know what the defense says do, but how do I do it footwork-wise? How do I do it with my eyes? I think that's the part that not just the Redskins, but pro football as a whole, where are the guys that can teach you beyond the scheme? Where are the guys that can teach you to go do what you're asked to do beyond that you were on the inside technique? You did go into the third. That's one part of it. Now what's that part that finishes the job? And I don't think that they're getting that kind of development just based on what I see. I don't know. I'm not talking about anybody out, but I know what I see. And I know that that's fixable and doable. And more importantly, I know they have the ability to do it. So it's not about getting rid of all these guys. It's about getting them developed so that they can go and execute.
All right. Very interesting comments from Darrell Green. And
very strong.
In a few seconds, each one of you guys, what did you think about his comments? And
I think he's a better source for those kind of comments than me, because he played on defense and he should know. But my take on the game was that it was an awful performance. There wasn't any pressure applied on the quarterback, Cam Newton. There were too many penalties, and so my conclusion is that the team lacks discipline. Hopefully that will change going forward.
Yeah, well, who am I to speak against Darrell Green? I mean, I didn't play in the NFL, but I know the sport. I don't have to get shot. I don't have to get shot to realize that hurt. But as far as with what Darrell Green said, he's absolutely right. But the question is on the players. We don't know if they are receiving, that information or not. Are the players really taking heed to the things that's being instructed to them? That's another thing we don't know. They probably been told what to look out for. Probably what if you see a player slide here, who's going to step out, who's going to cover the man that's going over top deep. Is the safety going to help me out on the back end? If you have a fast receiver that's faster than our corners they can't keep up with no one on a deep ball. So we want to know if the technique is it being taught, and if it is being taught, are they listening? Because when you're at a point when you're a grown man, you come into the league, you're used to doing something a certain way. Sometimes those guys, it's kind of hard for them to revert to try to change something they have done all their lives. They got them to this point where they at. So the question you want to ask, put back on the players, do they realize what's going on? Do they want to learn? When Alfred was talking to Mr. Brown, he said it's the first time he was able, to talk to him, and when how Mr. Brown said Mr. Allen gave him the opportunity to get together again. It's something that shouldn't have happened. They should have, always be, the alumni should always be around. And if they're around and these players see that and recognize and talk to these great legends that played the game, they'll probably play a whole lot better.
All right. Well, I tell you what, real quick, who's the top team in the NFL?
I'm going for the Bears. I think the Bears are the best team. Okay. The defense solid, 100%. Then I would go ahead and give it to Atlanta, being a second team, although it's still the jury's out on them to see what they're going to do in the postseason. And then after that, I'll give it for San Fran, the Texans, and then end up with Green Bay.
All right. Let's talk about college teams real quick in a couple seconds. Is Kansas State for real? Because that's his alma mater.
Yeah,
we all know that's his Kansas State is for real.
They are for real.
All right.
They are for real.
They are.
I knew he would say it, but I just thought I'd give him a shot.
You know, it's go Wildcats and go Skins.
All right. Well, I tell you what, thank you to you guys, Barry Barnes and Larry Brown, the legend, number 43.